All right, guys. I'm joined with Dean. He's the Kemono player in this video here, and we're gonna do a little bit of commentary over his match from the Springfield, Illinois Regional that happened this past weekend. This was the finals match, so I guess we'll go ahead and start the video. You want me to count it down, and then we'll just start?
That sounds fine.
All right. So 3, 2, 1, play. So the matchup, Gochiusa versus Kemono. Were you happy about this going into it? Because you're just like, get wrecked?
I never played against Gochiusa. I just knew they had on reverse combos and burn ones, and my deck kind of countered both of those. But I did open poorly, and I had to pitch 5 for my mulligan.
Yeah, I think you were saying you were like out 6 like within like the first turn, basically.
Yeah, by like the third turn, I think I was out all 8. I believe I trigger a standby on this first attack. Like a Bon, the best play in the game.
Yeah, it's a pretty good opener. I mean, you don't. I think in your list you don't run a runner, right? So it's basically the best opening you could do.
No, I don't run a runner at all. But yeah, I start off by playing on a standby because I open with so many climaxes that I just wanted to get that 1-0 penguin out there. It turned out pretty well because he had I think he was really relying on that 3-5. It's a 4K loner, I think.
No,
with the back row.
Yeah, with the back row, it's 4K on your turn, on opponent's turn. But it's like 3-5 can't side. I'm actually surprised that he left Caban out, but I guess he's just trying to make it so it doesn't go to memory. That's all right-ish, I guess. But yeah,
a lot of players, when they're playing against Caban, they just seem to try to ignore it. I'm not sure what they're going for there, but I mean, I'm always happy with the free plus. I think the idea is I'm not supposed to have a stock out on the climax that got triggered.
Okay, that would make sense if he was playing like that.
Struggling with like how to deal with his board. 500. I thankfully opened with one of my 4-drop searchers.
Yeah, thankfully, just set up here. What at this point? What are you looking for? Are you just looking for more penguins to unscrew yourself here?
I think I had an grab here. Oh yeah, I was just searching for the on death penguin so I could just mill through my entire deck. It was my only goal. And by in hand, and I was wanting to bury a. I was wanting to get out an pack already. Go to save resources. So something really cool that actually ends up happening in a second is because standby doesn't give soul, I end up not even shooting him to 1 this turn. So I just have these 2 5Ks out and I'm swinging to deal with them.
Yeah, I think getting out that early alpaca.
The middle attack.
Yeah, getting that early alpaca out too is pretty good here because I think yeah, he doesn't get to level 1, right? And if I remember correctly here, he's just going to end up passing turn because he has just no plays.
Decides to brainstorm with, I'm not sure why he decides to do that. Yeah, a second one, he decides to do it again. I'm not sure if that's the play.
I wasn't really keeping track of his climaxes. Maybe he was just, pretty already screwed at this point as well. And it was just probably better to wait.
I still think that at least 1 attack, maybe. I don't know. I just start to stock charge.
Yeah, I think that that one pass turn was very crucial in you winning this game basically at this point. Gives you that extra turn to catch back up.
Okay, yeah, I play a stock soul because I had so many climaxes in my hand. I'm like, well, for me to trigger a climax anymore, so I'm just, compression as much as possible. Though.
Oh, the standby.
What happens? Oh, okay, we get some dank plays. We get,
Yeah, the play over the penguin to mill your deck more.
serve all that, when it gets reversed, goes to memory for even more compression.
Yeah, actually, I think in this order you were supposed to resolve the penguin before the damage, but whatever. Here, see this is the part I think you actually didn't discarded 2 cards by accident here.
It,
So you discarded,
yeah,
and then you discarded
discarded
right
2.
here. So you discarded 2 for some horrible reason. Bad player, don't know his own effects, but it's all
It's
right.
okay. I didn't even need that hand.
Yeah, you're getting so much value out of this level 0 Kaban. It's like been there for 3 turns, right?
The last turn I take damage for the rest of the game.
Almost there. Yeah, so Gochiusa only has 2 cards in the deck, so it's just setting up like being able to search whatever he wants here, which isn't bad. If you're going to be out of climax, might as well get some good use out of it.
Here I actually get the, since I've already got the alpaca and everything else that I need, and I'm hitting close to my first refresh, I decided to just get the dolphin. So I set up for green. I believe I had a couple heal events in hand. Runs 8 green total, so I wasn't going to be able to get to them. Heal event to be able to play a heal event.
Yeah, getting the searches off of the climax combo here. Luckily, like in a scenario where he can actually search his entire deck if he was going to be out the climax anyway. So I think that's pretty good for Gochiusa for the most part. But basically after this turn, it's just like your opponent gets no on reverse effects anymore. Pretty much, right?
Yep, and then I get the banish. So now I have 2 friends in memory. I can use the Serval Restander. Shows issues to not resolve. One, because it's a clean stock and a clean draw. Wanting to pay out? Yeah, I was wanting to pay out that climax that I triggered last turn.
Oh, I think you just like top deck an alpaca here or something too, right?
It's been in my hand since the beginning of it. What do I grab here first? So I'm able to play red, or so I'm able to early play it. Yep. The climax, which is my only goal. I'm gonna just start bearing things that I don't want to see for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and this is kind of the point where your strategy starts paying off for the deck, right? You're just crazy amount of stock charge to get that compression.
I think he had asked like what it was. Wrong. It's coming out at was it 5565. The last one's 9K, so it's 85. They're 85 and 9K.
Yeah, these things get pretty big for being costless, especially with the double alpaca.
that my like small penguin is smaller because I'm wanting to actually have no board at this point. I don't know why I do that, but I'm always like scared that my climaxes are just going to be in a clump together.
Rip the climax right off the top. I didn't see that trigger there. I was another climax, right? So you're already out two, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
He's basically forced to swing big. Triggers and like, you know, possibly being flooded with climaxes in hand. And just because of the sheer threat of the dolphin, most people are forced to play like level 3s with 2 soul, or they just accidentally swing for 3. Numbers are pretty favorable at this point. Yeah, and he plays a climax.
And you get the godly triple cancel here. Yep.
And yeah, because I have I'm wanting to pay that get that climax off the top of my deck, so I use the moose. The moose like this because it's going to be staying on the board, and that gives him a chance to attack for 1. Okay. Also, I may have the godly triple cancel of 1, but he just canceled 3 attacks for like no, he was like swinging for 3s. I go 1 2 1, and then he cancels them all.
Godlike. Yeah, at this point you're like basically hitting that critical mass where it's going to be really hard to start getting any damage through if you do anything bigger than 2.
Counter climaxes, and I think he's looking at the translation for one of his cards.
Yeah, I think his back row setup is for early play level 3s now, right? I think those are the 2 you need in the back row. I don't remember the pictures of Gochiusa cards that much, but yeah, it looks like he's early playing.
Yeah. At this point, I believe these things were like 12K or like 11K.
So this isn't bad. If he hits you here with this 2, then like you're just still at 2-6. Oh, nope, never mind. You're just going to cancel anyway.
I draw another heal event. I had the Dolphins in hand, but I didn't realize the heal event I was supposed to have 3 cards on the board. You know, be wary of that in the future. At this point, basically everything that's not a level 3 or a healer is just dead to me, so stock away literally everything in my deck. That's pretty cool is if you use the serval and you tack into something, you can actually check the top card of your deck to make sure that's not a climax and you don't need to do anything about it.
Yeah, that's one of the nice tricks with that card, especially when the power is kind of useless after early game.
You stock at once. I think I was at all 8 already.
So this is like the tough part for Gochiusa here, because like he's playing the healer early because he just wants to heal down, but it's like really tough because you're just so compressed at this point. Like, what is your deck at? Like, it's definitely like less than 20 cards at this point, right?
It's like maybe 14 or 15 cards.
Yeah, so hitting for those threes are like super painful.
Disgusting to watch.
Yeah, this is just nasty. This is just like super critical mass at this point. Like anything that's more than 2 is you're probably not going to cancel. Your deck is like half climaxes at this point.
It's only 2 even at that point. Actually, at this point, I start to think like, wow, I need to out some of this stock by encoring stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to get too small, otherwise you're just drawing and triggering all your climaxes and just dying to refresh over and over again.
Like you see me look at the alpacas, and then I'm like, I think I'm good for now. I don't think I need them anymore. Oh man, I triggered the standby. It's time for the spicy memes. One character in my waiting room. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a lion. I think there's like one lion in my waiting room.
No. It was I think the level 3 serval and also the moose. Whereas in your waiting room, you did trigger the lion earlier, but I don't think there's one in waiting room. Or is there?
What happened there? He was like, "I'm waiting for you to resolve the trigger," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm just showing you what it is. I'm not resolving anything." Here, I was thinking about the number of cards left in my deck and what I could do here. I'm gonna refresh with that waiting room and that deck. Lucky enough to find my other dolphin with that penguin. I max in my hand and then I encore it. That way I can actually have a deck and not like lose to myself. Real problem with this deck.
That's like such a weird play, but I mean, when you're at that point, you just kind of have to do things like that. I know, like, ideally you don't want that on the field anyway, right?
I didn't think he had clock kickers, so I think he used an on-play burn one. I think that's what the card he played is, and then I was just like, no.
Oh yeah, yeah. It comes in play top check and then burn one if it's like Rabbit House or something.
I was unfamiliar with Gochiusa, and he was unfamiliar with Kemono, so we were both really confused. That's a really good number against that deck.
One.
Two soul beaters against a. I don't know if it's just like he doesn't have discard outlets, or he probably just doesn't have discard outlets, and it's the only thing he can do.
Yeah, once this deck gets like at this point, it's pretty silly. You're just like triple canceling basically every turn.
Tempted to do it. Do I encore it? Yeah, I do. Wow. Trying to keep a waiting room.
He was probably holding that gate like most of the game too, thinking he was gonna do the combo for his level 3 since Gochiusa has a on attack, burn one, burn one.
And he must have just like forgot about Kaban.
Yeah.
Accidentally played Moose down before playing the Dolphin.
Oh yeah, because he thought you
were
like,
level
3.
I'd been at level 2 for so long. Use a free fresh counter.
Yeah, I think you're just like a few seconds ahead. Oh. So he just used a free fresh counter here. What like is this like your fourth turn at level 2?
Level 2, like it was pretty good. And then I get the spicy memes where I have like 2 characters in waiting room here. Not, but
Oh man. Do you have a lion in waiting room?
and play it down first. Play it correctly. Supposed to play it down first and then use its effect, but I just used its effect from waiting room. Used about like what's happening.
Man, I love the lion card. I hope every person that plays red plays the lion.
It's like I've used the lion a few times. I have not once in playing this deck used the Serval Restander.
Yeah. I think in this deck just the lion's just better.
A lion doesn't heal though. I stopped encoring my cards because I see that he only needs like 2 damage. So caring about leaving a board open.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, you've basically locked him out of being able to win the game, especially if he has these level 3s in the front row. I think the only way to get out of this scenario is just play over the level 3s and play like these very weak level 0s to leave things on the board, even though you have dolphins. I almost feel like you're playing like a lock deck, like Decidueye Vileplume or something.
Nah, it's fine. He can like turn his card sideways, and I get to turn mine sideways. 12-card deck at this point.
Do you finally hit level 3 here? Do you even hit level 3 this game? I'm pretty sure you do. He did it. You're level 3 now.
I think I was struggling with colors. Six more cards in my deck when I refresh.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, you're playing 4-color Kemono. That's why you're kind of struggling with the colors there.
Oh yeah, it's 4-color. Thankfully, I think I top decked the Moose, so I had the ability to heal off the Climax that went there. How to lose that 2 stock, so I had to compress harder.
Another free fresh counter?
I think he's just running out of options at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only way he would have got back into this game, which kind of sucks, is that you'd have to play over your level 3s and just play like level 0s.
You'd be losing them every turn to the Dolphins.
Yeah. Or just like any one soul beater that can basically not die to Dolphins.
Dolphin.
That is a wrap. Yeah, the 4-color Kemono deck that you built is pretty silly. It just, if it goes off, it just, you know, I feel like you lock your opponent out of the game at that point.
Like it does have bad games, but given all of the drop searchers and like all of the self milling that's like costless and those penguins, and you're able to get the penguins with the standby, like if you're triggering them or you have climaxes in hand, that's usually the sign that you're having a bad game. So then you have more access to your self milling.
Yeah,
shouldn't misfire too often.
Yeah, I like the play too, where you have the penguin already out, and then you hit standby and play over it to mill during your attack step. It's a pretty cool interaction that I didn't really think of.
Is
Oh, I think you cut out there.
Sorry.
Wait, I think you cut out again. What the fuck? All right. All right. Well, anyway, I guess with this, what you took first, right? After this interesting matchup. But yeah, I guess we'll call it quits here. You have any shout outs before I close up this video?
No, just yeah, thank you, tiebreakers. I like really earned this first place victory. I destroyed one person, and then that was it.
Yeah, this event was really silly. But anyway, thanks for hopping on to do this commentary with me. All right, guys, later.